Welcome to the Miniature Lettuce Farm. We are a hydroponic farm located in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We specialize in miniature varieties of lettuce and herbs. Okay, right now I'm working with Oasis cubes. They come in a square like this. I think it's about 125 of these in this. You want to soak these really well before you use them. I'm going to right now I'm planting some bright light Swiss chard. So I only want about this much for the Swiss chard. And I'm just using a container like this that I had around the house. Bought something in. I put the date on it. This is actually the sticker I used for the last one. So you want to wet this really good. We do this several times. This has to be really good and moisturized. This is just regular water that I'm putting in here. No nutrients or anything. Just regular water. And I'm making a mess, so you don't make a mess. But you definitely want this to be very moisturized. So I'm actually going to let that sit for a little while. Don't make the mess like I did. I went to our local feed store today, and I actually bought some seeds. They're called Bell's Seed Store. And I actually bought some, this is the Rainbow Swiss chard, the same kind that I sell. I just wanted to see if I could get some better germination rate. I know the ones that I got from Johnny's, because most of my seeds come from Johnny's. The ones I got from Johnny's were about 75%. 75% germination rate, and that's okay, but I don't like the germination rate, so I kind of want to see if those are actually gonna do better. I'm gonna show you. I plant for the Swiss chard because we're going to do the cut and come again method. This was actually a tray that I planted a week or so ago. And I put two seeds in every cell. I used the pelleted cell. I got the pelleted seeds. That's just the coating that you get, and they just make it, because seeds are really small, they're like a clay like material. They just help, they make them bigger, more uniform, easier to deal with. Let me actually show those to you. These are the pelleted seeds that I actually got from Johnny's. And see, they tell you on the back their germination date, the lot number, and then the test date. I don't know if you can see that. They come in a container like this. They actually look like this versus the actual seeds. They're pelleted. And they just make them more uniform and easier to deal with. You do have to be careful with these pelleted seeds because depending on where you get them from, they may also be coated with some herbicides to help them out in the field be more resistant to certain things. You can get the ones that are certified organic. These are certified organic. They just make them easier to handle, and it's just a clay like material. They don't this the pelleted, they do affect the how long they last, the viability of these. So these don't last as long as regular seeds. And I put these in the refrigerator. So these, you really want to use these the first year that you get them because of the coating. The coating messes with the long-term viability of the seed. So you want to always use these first. But I really have fallen in love with pelleted seeds, especially if you know, like lettuce seeds. They're so small, and the pelleted seeds make them so much better. They make the seeding and handling so much better. So those are about 75% germination rate. So this is some that I planted like a week ago. Now some will continue to germinate. There's 2 seeds in every cell. It's going to continue to germinate. I just didn't want to keep it under on the heat and in the humidity dome. Just was nervous about getting mold. So when I saw okay germination rate, I went ahead and took those from up under and put them on light because they were already bending over and just not looking good. So I wanted to go ahead and get them under light. So this was a week ago. So I plant about once a week, just so I can keep a constant flow. I'm gonna pour the water off of this. I do leave a little bit of water down in the bottom of it, not a lot, just just a really little bit of water down in the bottom. These are the seeds that I picked up today. And see here, you can see the difference in the seeds versus the pelleted one. These are the regular Swiss chard seeds. Swiss chard is really not that bad compared to like lettuce. The lettuce seeds are really small. Regular seeds are really small. So getting the pelleted ones actually make it a lot easier. So I'm going to take 2 per cell and just go down the row and put 2 in each cell and see if I get better germination with this. Again, these are the rainbow Swiss chard. With the regular lettuce seeds, you're really having to look to see if you put them, and put them in the cell, and some of them are black, so it can make it really hard seeding. That's why I really have become a fan of the pelleted seeds for that reason. But these seeds are bigger, so they're actually not too hard to seed. Okay, I'll come back once I've finished. I brought the camera a little closer so hopefully you can see better. So I finished seeding all of those with two in every cell. And then I'm just taking some regular faucet water, and I am just going to go over to wet the seed. I'm trying to get water into every cell just to make sure your seeds are wet. All right, the seeds are wet. I'm actually, if you can see the water down in there, I'm actually going to pour off a little bit of that water without pouring, making sure the seeds don't pour out. Okay, so I did pour off a little bit of that water, but if you can see, there is still water under there. Now, I will show you my setup for where I put it once you do this. Okay, this is my setup for where I put my seedlings. I close up the container. Just regular water is in here. I have it labeled and dated for when I planted it. This is a heating mat. I put it on the heating mat, and it doesn't need light right now. There's no lights with this. And I have it's long, so it's a long shelf. So I could put several, which I am going to put several up, several trays up here of different things. This is waterproof, and here is the plug it in. Okay, it's plugged in now. It's turned on. This is it is already set for, I think, 75. But this is to show you the temperature. You have to, it's now on, but it's already set for 75. You're going to take this little probe, and you're going to place this little probe inside of there, and that makes sure that your temperature gets to where you want your temperature to be. So you're going to place your little probe inside of there, It keeps your little probe in there, and that way it'll know what temperature and keep it at that temperature that you have it set for. So that is my setup for that. And you know it's set for 75 because you press and hold this down for like 3 seconds, and see it's set for 75. If you wanted to turn it up or down, you would press one of those, and then you just press it one time and it will go up until it hits the 75. So, couple of seconds, the heat mat, it's already started. I'm feeling it now. It's already started getting warm. I have this shelf right above my ebb and flow, and I'll do another video another day on my ebb and flow and what I use it for. This is how the tray looks when I take it from off of the heating mat and from up under the humidity dome and begin watering it with nutrients. So this is a bucket that I've already made up of half strength nutrients. So I just keep a cup right here, and I put a cup full of the half strength nutrients into the bottom of the tray. This is a regular 1020 regular tray. I've already given these some water. I do this twice a day. And this is half strength nutrients twice a day. These are under light, and I can show you, and I keep these they're under light. Right now, I keep them there until they're about the size to be transplanted, until they're ready to be transplanted. But I just gotten the new ebb and flow system, so I'm going to be revamping some of my systems. But right now, this stays under, and I can show you that. This is my little system that I have up here. And again, if you've been watching my videos, you know these are just regular, well, these are not, because these are the same type of lights that are up on my vertical garden on my wall. And you can check out my Amazon affiliate links for that if you want to know about these lights. But most of the lights I use for seedlings are just regular shop lights. And I've got a full video on my TikTok about shop lights and what lumen and all of that you need. Like these shop lights, we actually got these shop lights from, these shop lights actually came from Home Depot. And they're just regular shop lights, and they're growing an array of stuff down here. Green beans, that's a lemon tree. These are peppers. Those are some cucumbers. These particular shop lights here are 4800 lumen and 5000 Kelvin, and they're able to grow just fine. Most of the lights in my house are LED shop lights, so make sure you check out my other videos about lights. But this is where, for right now, this is where my seedlings stay. They, like I said, these are about a week old. They're here. The lights are really close down. They're fed half strength nutrients twice a day. And I bottom water these. And I leave them here for right now. How I'm using this is I leave them here until they're ready to be transplanted. So they can be here for About 3 to 4, like I said, about 3 to 4 weeks. I actually have this is a beautiful tray just like those. These are about 4 weeks. Unfortunately, if not longer, but they're definitely ready. They're beautiful. They've been growing in shop lights, half strength nutrients. But they're definitely ready to grow in the system. And this weekend, they will be transplanted into our new system. These plants have been in the little pot that I have them in way longer than they should have, but we've been trying to get all of this built, so that is why the roots look like this. So I'm just kind of softening them up a little bit, and then putting them in here. They fit right in those holes. I'm doing so what I'm doing is I'm putting a piece of tape, and having when it was planted, so when these were first planted and today's date for the transplant date, because that helps me know when they're ready. And these may be stunted a little bit because they were confined and weren't able to really breathe and extend. So these were planted on 131, and I'm transplanting them today, which is 3/6. And that is, I also write what plant it is, because these are different types of lettuce, and that is Newham. And I'm gonna just stick it to anywhere on here. Right now it's just gonna be on the side. And when we transplant, when it's time to plant again, I'll remove all of these and put new ones. I'm just taking off before I plant them the ones on the bottom that look like really wasn't getting any light. They were all in the container kind of mushed together. So the bottom ones weren't getting any light, and as you can see, they just kind of grew just straight up. And so yeah, I'm taking those and then putting it in there, and hopefully we'll still get a good harvest out of these. They may be a little bit longer than I like when it's all said and done, but I think that will be fine. We're just gonna watch how they recover. There was really nothing we could do about this by the time we decided that this is what we were going to do. These were already planted, and once you've got them planted, there's not much you could do. So yeah. And they just go directly in there. We've got an air conditioner and a heater in here. so that the plants will be able to stay at about 70 degrees. Not about, but at 70. We've got it set for 70. And so that is the range that we're gonna keep it. And it automatically, if it drops below, then the air will come on. I mean, if it goes above, the air will come on. If it goes below, the heat will come on. And you see how they're kind of drooping over. I don't know if you can see that. You see how they're kind of drooping over. One, that's okay. That's what happens when you transplant your things into a new system. And two, they were actually really leggy because of where we had them. So we're gonna have to deal with some of this legginess. But I'm hoping in the end everything will be okay. So, but if your plants kind of fall over like this when you first transplant them, even if they're not particularly leggy, this is normal. That's okay. They will perk back up. You come back in a couple of hours and they will be completely perked up. A couple of hours till the next day and they'll be completely perked up again.
Thank you for watching this video. If you found any of this information helpful, please make sure you like and subscribe for more. Also, please make sure you are following us on our other social media accounts. Link is in the description box below.